Hello everyone, this is your 6th grade science for week 1. There's 2 different sets of assignments on here. If you are in Mrs. Willis's class, you're going to do a weathering project. If you are in Mr. Trogdon or Mr. Shoemaker's class, you have a physical and chemical change worksheet to do. So make sure that you're only paying attention to the teacher that you have. So let's go into it. Remember, this is only for Mrs. Willis's kids. If you have Mr. Trogdon or Mr. Shoemaker, just fast forward a little bit. Weathering. Pretend that you made a pizza and left it outside. What do you think will happen to the pizza over time? It might be washed away by the rain or freeze and crack in the cold weather. It might also dry up and crack in the sun. Rocks on Earth are like pizza in a way because rocks can constantly change due to weathering. Weathering is this process where rocks is dissolved, worn away, or broken down into small pieces. Change can take millions of years or can happen quickly. Weathering can shape rocks into unusual formations. Take a look at the pictures below and show the formations of the rocks due to the weathering process. So here we have the coast of England. See how the rocks are, it's made like this little opening here and things like that. On your picture it should be easier to see. But then over here is the Bryce Canyon. Now a canyon is kind of like where there's cliffs and things like that. There are 2 main types of weathering, physical and chemical. Physical weathering is also known as a mechanical weathering. Mechanical weathering physically breaks up rocks. For example, when huge waves crash against the rocky shoreline, the rocks will slowly start to break apart into smaller pieces. Chemical weathering dissolves or decomposes or decays rocks and minerals through chemical reactions. For example, when water enters the cracks of the rocks, the minerals in the rocks are dissolved. So we have the entire article over here. Whole article. And it's really nice because that way you don't have to flip back and forth to answer your questions. So let's look over here at number 1. If you left a cookie outside, what do you think will happen to the cookie over time? Think about weather patterns. What does the word weathering mean? This is a definition question here. So a definition. True or false? Weathering cannot happen quickly. Number 4, weathering can shape rocks into unusual formations. Draw your own picture of a rock formation that can happen due to weathering. So you're drawing a picture of a rock formation in here. Okay. What type of weathering happens when acid water dissolves limestone? Number 6, what type of weathering is also known as mechanical weathering? And number 7, what is an example of mechanical weathering? And they gave you both of those. So those are right back in here. Just a hint for you. All right, so that is Mrs. Willis's class. So here we have Mr. Trogdon or Mr. Shoemaker's class. So make sure that you're circling which teacher you have on there. Okay, make sure you have your name. So we have chemical and physical changes. Over here, look at your definitions. A physical change. No new substances are formed. So that's like if you take a piece of paper and you crumple it up, it's still paper, right? So that's a physical change. A chemical change is where you make a new substance. So like when you burn paper, it becomes ashes, right? So you made a whole different thing. If you are baking, you're taking like different ingredients and you're making something totally new. So that would be a chemical change. So those are the differences. Physical, no change. It's still the same thing. It just looks different. Chemical, you're making something all new. And so, look how right here it says, please circle your teacher. It's not Mrs. Willis's, so don't stress about that one. All right, so we have our assignment. So our objects undergo many kinds of changes. Put a P in front of each physical change and a C in front of each chemical change. So make sure that you have a P for physical and a C for chemical. So rusting of iron Number 1 is rusting of iron. 2, breaking of a tree limb. 3, cutting paper. 4, action of yeast in bread making. So like when you're making bread. Number 5, souring of milk. You know, like when you know the milk is bad, sour milk. Number 6, wadding up a sheet of paper. Number 7, erasing a pencil mark. 8, freezing of water. 9, boiling water. 10, salting the ice on a sidewalk. 11, action of baking powder in cooking a cake. 12, bending a metal wire. 13, etching glass with acid. 14, formation of stalagmites in a cave. 15, fertilizing a lawn. 16, crushing ice in a blender. 17, evaporation of water in a lake. 18, eating foods. 19, burning gasoline in a car engine. 20, burning logs in a fireplace. 21, toasting marshmallows over a campfire. 22, adding bleach to a washer of clothes. Or 23, slicing a block of cheese. Okay, we're going to go to the other side. Physical and chemical changes. Read through each question. Find the correct answer of the 3 columns. Shade in the box with the color given. And then color the picture. We don't have a picture, so don't stress about it. Okay? If the color is white, just circle the answer. So, number 1. Which of the following is true about a chemical or a physical change? Physical change. A, there can be an unexpected color change. B, light, sound, and or heat may be produced. Or C, it can usually be reversed, which means go back to how it was. So which one's true about a physical change? Number 2, which of the following is an example of a chemical change? Mixing brown sugar into the oatmeal, grilling hamburgers, or making sweet tea. Okay, number 3. Which of the following is an example of a physical change? Digesting the food you ate for breakfast, sharpening your pencil, or bleaching your hair. All right, number 4. Identify each as either a physical change or a chemical change. Number 1. You break the leaves off the head of a lettuce. So notice there's a 1, a 1, and a 1. They're all physical, so that must be a physical one. Number 2, you slice tomatoes. Is it physical, chemical, or physical? Number 3, you shred a few carrots. Physical, or chemical? Number 4, you dice an onion. So is that physical, chemical, or physical? And then finally, number 5, you mix everything together for a tasty salad. Physical, or chemical. Make sure that they all line up correctly, okay? Number 5. Which of the following will result in a product with new chemical properties? Clipping your fingernails, mowing the lawn, or cooking dinner for a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Number 6. Which of the following is true about a chemical change? It will always produce one or more new substances. The identity of the substance does not change. Or a phase change such as melting is an example. Number 7. Which of the following is not an indicator that a physical change has taken place? There is an expected color change, a precipitate forms, the shape and or size changes. So which one's not an indicator of a physical change? Number 8. Which of the following is evidence of a physical change? Making peanut butter and jelly sandwich, ripening a tomato, or apple slices turning brown? Number 9, which of the following is a chemical change? Coloring a picture, rotting bananas, or cutting your hair? Which one's a chemical change? And then number 10, your teacher gives you a piece of paper and asks you to demonstrate a chemical change using the paper. Which of the following would you do? Tear it, crumple it, or burn it? I'll give you a hint. On the other side, it tells you what to do. So make sure that you're looking at both sides of this. All right, if you need help with any science work, make sure that you're going back and you're looking through this video and ask us if you have any questions. Thanks.